What's up, guys? Welcome back. As always, we're going to talk about stocks. So let's do a disclaimer. This is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing should be taken as investment advice or legal advice. Yeah, we're just here to have a good time, guys. Talk about random things that pop into my head. I do own one share of GameStop, so disclaimer. I am also long on sndl, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, which is a weed stock. And yeah, let's get into it, guys. So first up, I want to talk about this. So this is on the Reddit penny stocks. If you are not familiar with Reddit penny stocks, you definitely need to be on Reddit penny stocks. Penny stocks are a great way to find stocks that have a lot of hype behind them and jump. But more importantly, they have a lot of actual great information. And this is what kind of like Wall Street Bets used to be before it became just a clusterfuck of random stuff. Diamond hands forever. The cult of GameStop happened. So there's still actually a lot of great information on Reddit penny stocks. So check that out. This is what I want to talk about though. This is what we're in, is the cycle of hype, build up, and then, drop off. So essentially the quote unquote pump and dump phases of Reddit. So we have the stealth phase. This is where you actually want to get in to companies. This is if you do your own significant research and you find a lot of great details and you're early. This is probably a month or two beforehand. You can get it in the stealth phase. The awareness phase is when people start actually talking about it. And if you want to generate money at all or any kind of profit, especially if you're selling anything, and as stocks and doing investments like this, you are selling stocks. Even if you are holding and diamond handing forever, you still want the stock to go up in value, so you need to sell, hey, this stock is great, come get it. You really want to be a part of this stock, etc., etc. You sell the excitement. So this is where the awareness phase comes in. And you'll see there's a run-up. And then there will be a sell-off because some people are like, yeah, we're getting out. That's it. It's all over. And normally that's the case, right? So that's what happens. You bring awareness to something, you make demand, and people now want this product or this stock or this item or whatever you're trying to sell and trying to promote. So yeah, you did your job. Sell off. You sold your product. Good. You wash your hands. You're done. But when a stock gets popular enough, and on Reddit now, what we have is, after that sell-off, we have media attention and the mania phase. This is what happens in the media attention. So the media grabs it. And right now, cannabis stocks, weed stocks are in the media. So we are around this phase, somewhere in this phase. And I think we're probably in the beginning of the phase, actually. So let's talk about this. Media attention, mania phase. This is when the stock goes parabolic. Craziness. It doesn't, there's no set time. It happens for a day, it happens for 2 days, it happens for a week. There's no set time on this stuff. Each stock is completely different. You saw this on Nokia, for example. Nokia had a media attention mania phase. It had that for 1 day. It went and then way down. So Nokia is a great example of this, how short this could be. GameStop, on the other hand, had a media attention mania phase for about 5 to 6 days. Trading days too, not just 1 day. They were constantly growing up, and away. So you have to gauge and judge everything independently on their own. Again, you have enthusiasm because more media brings more enthusiasm. You got more people. You got more people talking about it. You got celebrities and things talking about it. And now you get to the greed phase. This is where, for GameStop terms, the $300, $400 peak is. So you're like greed, and people are like 300. Yeah, it's going to go to 10,000. We're going to go to 10,000. People start getting greedy. This is what happens. They get delusional. You get to the top here. Normally, it's a sudden drop off, whoosh, and then there's some slight recovery. So we saw this in the GameStop phase. Drop off was more significant than this. It went zero, way down to the 120 phase, and then it recovered back up to the 300, return to normal. But that was a very short-lived return to normal phase. That was, a day or so of return to normal, and then after that, the fear kicks in. And then the fear breeds down to despair, and then you go to the average. So This is a great chart. This is awesome. I love this information, love this data. And 31,000 people on the Reddit penny stocks have also upvoted this, showing you that it is actually useful and great information. So this is what we talked about with GameStop as well, is that I think, we're still in the fear, desperation phase. We are riding GameStop down, and, we're going to get down to that $15, $20, I think. And then it's going to start coming back up. Return to the mean. So this is why I told you my game plan is to buy GameStop in about 2 weeks when prices have dropped down to $15, $20, because this is a great chart of showing you exactly what is going on and generally what happens. So let's talk about other things, because GameStop really didn't do much today, and we want to talk about the big thing, weed stocks. So if you go over to Wall Street Bets, you can see they've changed the things a little bit, and it's not really anymore about GameStop. It's all about the weed and the cannabis stocks. So first thing, 21,000 when weed stops are a poppin'. We also have a lot of other hypes about weed and memes about weed. And this is very telling. We'll go down here to this right here. It was kind of foreshadowed yesterday about why weed would pop off. So this is what I want to talk to you about right here. Most discussed tickers, February 9th. So we didn't know how crazy it was going to be, but yeah, if you look at this, GameStop number one as always, because, it's a cult on Wall Street Bets, right? But it's phasing out. It's dying out. Next up, Tilray. What the hell is Tilray? I had no idea what Tilray is, so I don't know. I didn't even look at this yesterday. Then you have the Afiria. What the hell is Afiria? I don't know. You have the sndl. I've heard of that before, right? But, it was not even ranked yesterday, the prior day. Gaming stock. Yeah. I heard about that. But look, most of the interest is in these three stocks. And these three stocks actually are all weed stocks. So if you put the pieces together and you got onto this board early morning / yesterday when they were getting hyped up on Wall Street Bets, you could have made a killing. I mean, right now, I think we're still in the hype phase. The media is slowly getting to the weeds. Like, hey, weed's here. Weed stocks are going crazy. And yeah, you can see like sndl made an incredible upswing. So we actually bought some midday today, and we've gained a significant profit on sndl already. I do think so I bought the stock pretty much just like, okay, it's hella hype, going up crazy, and it was already up like 30 or 40% in the day. I was like, so I just threw some money down to see what would happen. Then I did some investigating on the stock to find out what it is, is it a good company, so forth, yada, yada, yada. Why in the world is it rising? Because, you want to know why it's rising so you can figure out when it's going to fall. Or is it even going to fall? And then also figured out about these things, because these things, as you're doing research, you find out they're weed stocks as well. And there's a lot of, due diligence and hype posts on Wall Street Bets. And they actually are merging together, these two companies. So very, very interesting information on these. When we found out this, weed stock, we looked up other things. And we found another company here. So Canopy Growth, we have no position, but we might be taking a position soon, because this one is more of an American weed stock from what I've researched slightly before. So it hasn't had this crazy spike. Again, it's also very, very expensive compared to the other stocks. So the sndl stock is really cheap. It's like $3 right now. So you're like, hey, cheap stock. It's, a penny stock. Going up like crazy. You're like, oh, this is good. It doesn't look too crazy. It started the day at 241. It dipped down to 219, went down to 208, because it also is one of the heaviest shorted stocks out there. I believe the short report said it had about a 75% short, percent against float. So this is a heavy short stock. It was on that short list. And people grabbed and just like, okay, let's go. And it doesn't seem too crazy on this chart right here, right, guys? It goes from 241 up to 347. So it's $1 increase. The chart doesn't look like a crazy upward parabola motion. But if you look at the week chart, you start to see this crazy upward spike. You see a more... Also, this is actually a company that is supposed to be very, very profitable soon. Like, they cleaned out their balance sheet. So the reason they were cheap, the reason they were down to like this dollar price was they were potentially going to go bankrupt. So they sold more shares. They cleaned up their balance sheet. They cleared out all their debt. And now they have money. But now there's a lot of shares in the world. So with this being like, okay, we have no debt. The CEO has said that they're going to become profitable pretty soon. That's a good sign. No debts. Everyone believes that weed is going to get legalized in America, which is going to be, great for the weed sales. But this is I think it's a Canada company. Again, I'm not 100% certain on this, just done a little bit of searching and research just to get some information roughly on this, but I believe it's a Canada company. And so, they still have to make their way into America for sales and so forth. But overall, they have, good momentum now. They have a lot of fans. You can see the Wall Street bet guys really, really like the stock. It was one of the top stocks on Robinhood, which, most of the new traders are still using Robinhood, myself included, because we have a lot of money and stuff stuck on there and options. We can't really just easily jump off ship, even though we want to jump off ship. But yeah, this just shot up like crazy. There was a lot of hype around it. And the sentiment of weed is really, really strong right now. The weed stocks are going. So let's take a look at news coverage. So we type in sndl stock, and we can see what's going on with these stocks and why it doesn't look like, this is going to end tomorrow, for example. It looks like this might have a couple more days to ride up. So you can see there's a little bit of information, but nothing too crazy. So the mainstream media has not really picked this up. We got a little bit from the Motley Fool, CNA Finance, this one right here, I don't know who, Pulse 2.0. So nothing too crazy, right? But they'll start to pick it up because when they see these 100% gains, 50% gains during, one trading session, people start talking about it. So once it starts getting on to CNBC and, NBC, and these newscast anchors start talking about it, that is the peak media where you want to actually get out. Well, when these guys are starting to talk about it on, the Tonight shows, the 5 o'clock, the 12 o'clock ones, that's the sign pretty much that it's over. They're going to bring in the last group of people. So right now, I think you're still a little bit early. I think you can still make some money on this stock. I'm personally going to stay in it for probably at least 2 more days. We'll see how it looks on Friday. But, again, we're looking for CNBC, NBC, those mainstream media coverages to come in and be like, hey, the weed stocks are going crazy. Why are people buying Sundial? This is insane. Why is it up 200% in the last 3 days? That's what we're looking for. When we get to that point, I think that's the point that you want to get out. Okay? This is what they didn't tell you on GameStop because people were greedy. They wanted it to keep going higher. They also wanted to leave you with the bag. So, when the mainstream media starts talking about it, I highly recommend you get out of these stocks. Could it go higher? Yes, it very well could go higher. If we look back at that chart, we can see that, if we get out here at the greed stage, we could miss a good jump. It could jump up a significant amount. But if you got in, so even if you got in here at the media attention, the mainstream media attention, we're going to call this right here. If you got in at this point and it jumped up this much, that's a huge increase. That's a significant increase. You definitely should be happy about, 25%, 50% on your money. If you get those kinds of increase consistently, you're going to be really, really rich, really, really fast. So don't try and get a 10xer. Don't try and go for 10x in one day. That's just stupid. Don't be delusional. Getting 10x your money in one day, delusional. Don't do it. Maybe if you bought the stock, 2 months ago in the very beginning in the stealth phase, you might have got a 10xer. But if you're not doing that homework, you're not doing that research, you're not trying to find the next big thing on your own and then promoting it yourself and telling everyone how great it is, you're never going to get to the stealth phase. You're only going to be around the awareness or the mania phase. So take the small gains, take the 25%, take the 50%, take the 100%, be happy with it. Do this as well. So if you want to ride it, if you think, say, Sundial is going to go up even higher, and you're like, it's going to go to 15, it's going to go to 20. Once it goes to 5, sell 25% and keep 75% in the stock. Once it goes to 7, take another 25% off the table. You know, hedge your money, take some money off, so just in case it dives, you still took some profit and you still made that money, okay? All right, so that's what we want to talk about with the wheat stocks. I think there is room to grow. I think you can make money in the wheat stocks. There might be some hidden other gems out there as well. Post them down in the comment section if you have any other hidden gems that you want to talk about. I think we got at least about, another day of solid gains, for sure, is my opinion here. And then Friday is questionable at this point. So I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. And as always, too, we did a video on call options before. So if you do want to gamble and play this like the gamble that it is, because no question about it, it's a gamble, guys. You are gambling that the stock's going to go up. You're gambling that they're going to squeeze the shorts. You're gambling that the momentum is going to continue. You're gambling that people are still going to jump on board and you're going to be able to get out before the ship sinks. Unless you really think the company is amazing and is going to generate a lot more profit in the future, maybe you hold forever. But I don't recommend that. So if you do think that this stock is worth the gamble, call options are most likely the best gamble that you could do. We'll have a video on that. It's about the CCIV and the call options there. Take a look at that. You can just, convert numbers and do things like that. But call options will get you way bigger returns on a stock that is moving like a freight train up or a rocket ship to the moon, guys. I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. As always, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and ring that notification bell.